Hello, welcome back to Phoenix Wright. It's me, Avrusian, and I am in the middle of cross-examining Gaunt, who is the chief of police, because of course he is. Something I really enjoy about this game is how literally colorful the characters are. Like, he's got purple glasses and a peach suit and a red tie. I don't know, it's amazing. All right. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Oh, this is the switchblade. That's right. So last time we learned there was another murder at the same time of another detective, but at the police department instead of the prosecutor's office. Okay, so let's see what we can learn about this. Excuse me, special? Mm-hmm. Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And I like a mystery. It's wrapped in something. A muffler. Oh, and like a mystery, it's wrapped in something, a muffler. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? Could it be evidence from a different case that Goodman was working that he hid? See, there's lots of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Oh, geez, it's gonna be hard to get anything out of this guy. Now, there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Yeah, the tag, I know. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto. Now she's saying it. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. Perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So, how were things down at the department? Okay, so that's my clue. We'll come back to that, presenting a piece of evidence that has had him stumped. Probably the ID being found so separate. It's my guess. Anyways, that was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do investigation. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So, something did happen. Why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? Yeah, Edgeworth, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto? I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case? Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. How the victim was killed. We know the victim was found in the police department. We know they died at the same time. So I'm going to say how the victim was killed. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. Yes. It was what we call in the force what we in the Force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? It's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. Yeah, the time. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. Seems like I'm gonna have to press this a bit harder. Yeah. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? 5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. Yeah, we know. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? I mean, it sounds coordinated. Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Yeah, it would be very small. Chief Gant, tell us more about the incident. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand. Try to understand, Righto. Now the judge is doing it. Well, if you can prove there is a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together. Whatever it is, I better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. One at the prosecutor's office, and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife. What was it doing there? I better check this knife out. I already did. Okay. But let me go look at it again. And there's also this. I want to check on this again. Name and ID number are written here. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, 5842189. Okay, we've already seen this. Yabba dab. It does have a certain ring to it. Okay, but nothing else I can glean. Is there anything more here? Not much more. 67S. Oh, what if it's upside down? SL9 to 21 instead of, or, yeah. You could read that upside down. If he wrote it the other way. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas, as Cold Run, my friend, would say. Evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. I'm gonna try presenting this. Wait, I'm gonna save. Okay, now I'm gonna present this. Present. Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha! An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL9-2. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7S 12-2? No. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside... The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? There we go. 221 SL9. Ah, aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that's written on the knife's tag. Order, order. Well, Chief? Ah, oh well. Guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Yes, it was. Okay, so let me press on this then. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, Little Worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. This has to be connected to Angel Star, and maybe even the reason why she was fired. So the knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. Okay, now what? I think I need to... Okay, can we press about this now that they are linked? Okay, I think this is the same. Huh, I'm not sure because I think I've pressed him on all of these things. But there was something that, like, I want to keep pushing on this, but what we've learned is that it was a murder weapon from something else. Let me just double check I didn't miss anything. The day of the murder. So is there something else I can present here? What if I just present this again? No, that's wrong. Okay, I'm at the point where I'm just trying things because I'm not sure. So I'm gonna check on this and get a hint from my hint website. Okay, it looks like I need to just press again. A detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? Yeah, I've already done this, so, Oh! Right, the suspect. I knew there was something else that came up that was, like, interesting. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. Give me the data. One thing only. Okay, maybe let's see what I should ask this way. Maybe where they were found? We already know when. How he was killed. Okay, so I think we do need to ask where the victim was found. So maybe I did ask the wrong question before. I just don't remember if we already knew the guy was stabbed. So where was he found? Oh, right, they mean more specifically. I was thinking police department. We know that. But if it's like in a trunk of a car versus something else, that might be interesting. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found. But I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? So, also, maybe you've heard of it because you were in it once and got tased by a man. You know, it's a thing. The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. Okay, that's what we wanted. Something a little stronger than just the SL9. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. The link between the two cases established. We finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gunt to testify about the details. Okay. But you can, right? Maybe if I press him on it? Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Heh, you don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. That a connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. Yeah? So? You two make a good pair. Took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet, and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial, after all. I mean, okay. What? Really? That's my response, too. Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. 1 at the prosecutor's office. 1 at the police department. Right. The knife. Okay. Yes, let me go back and, well, let me save. Because I've made good progress. Okay. Here we go. I can press him on this. If you're gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Oh, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh, well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Okay, how about the division? Okay, well, what division was the victim stationed in? Oh, you want to know that, do you? Do you? Aha! Criminal Affairs, Division 1. The detectives responsible for homicide cases. Homicide cases. Huh. Okay, homicide. That would be the same division as Detective Gumshoe. Detective Goodman, who was killed in the underground parking lot, was homicide too. It's almost like a serial killer was after homicide detectives. Except this serial killing happened simultaneously, scientifically speaking. Well, I sure hope Detective Gumshoe isn't next on the list. Me too. Okay. Yes. Okay. See what else we can get. Alright, what if I press you on other information? I don't love that I have to go through all of this again, but, you know, whatever. Okay, the victim's ID number. How about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't keep getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. That's Goodman's number. I swear to God, I swear to God, I swear to God, it is. What the fuck? Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82... I can't do it. It was 5842189, Judge. See? I'm pretty good at remembering numbers. Didn't even get the first number right. Thank you. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department, 5842189. This tells me something. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? It's a good question. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something? What does it tell you? Here. A witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? Spit it out, Wright. You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. Oh dear. No, it's just... I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. Police department. The prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh ho, is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Oh my god, he really is bad at numbers. Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier, that started with 82. I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right. Again! The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. Was he then moved? Okay. I don't like the way I'm thinking here, but given all the evidence we have, this is my current theory, which I don't believe is true because of what it means. What would make sense of this is if he were killed in the evidence room, transported via Edgeworth's car to the prosecutor's office. I don't like how that implicates Edgeworth, but hear me out. Transported to the prosecutor's office where Lana finds him and tries to deal with it somehow. Angel Star sees some of that and thinks it's a chance to get a prosecutor in hot water and goes for it and lies about seeing her actually stab him. Or maybe sees something else and thinks it's a stabbing. These are possibilities, but it doesn't hang together that well yet. because there's a lot I don't know yet. So that's just my theory at the moment. I don't know. We'll see. What does our witness think about that? Oh, oh, sharp as a tack, righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. Because here's the thing. If we look at the court record, the autopsy, it just says died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. There is leeway there. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is the same person was killed at the same time? And in completely different locations? Right? It doesn't make sense. Order! Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Okay, Edgeworth. Yes, it's top secret, fine. But I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said, wait. Didn't you hear me? All right. The oversight, the grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How? How dare you? We informed you yesterday. Oh, it was the guy he sent away. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! Yeah, the guy he sent away. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. That's right. Oh, Edgeworth, it was your fault. You don't mean him. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Ah! Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. Oh, the turnaround. Objection. But, sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then He's not here to save you from your own mistakes, Edgeworth. No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy? Oh, damn. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. How is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. Ah, the connection was just proven by Righto over here. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No! Critical hit on Edgeworth. It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. Well, with all those rumors, you were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of diligence on my part. Due diligence. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. He's asking for the day. We don't have to ask this time. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. It's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time. Really? You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. Wow! I'll grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. I love that Edgeworth has to ask instead of us. It's a great reversal of the usual. Whatever your punishment for this is, I hope for your sake. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned. To be continued. Yes, I shall save. All right, February 23rd, 2:15 p.m., Wright and Company Law Offices. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. What's this "and the evidence room" part? Prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're gonna find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's gonna be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. Okay, science awaits us. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. Really? There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? I mean, okay, that's good to know that the body wasn't found there, because that does support my "he was transported here" theory. Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum, was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. Does she read his mind, or does Phoenix, like, mumble under his breath and she's good hearing? It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. That's true. What if he stepped in the blood at the police department? I feel like I want to know more about that. Anyways. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? Yeah, does water wash away blood that easily? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Oh, hell yeah. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. Can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. Wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? I see. To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press the X button to spray on it. Okay, let's find us some bloodstains. Oh my god, this is amazing. Oh, yeah, there are some. Anywhere else around the car? I'm shocked that there aren't. Okay, so it finally likes what I found. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So, is this a bloodstain? It's so... Ugh. Emma, you're shaking. It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay. Well, we definitely know this is a bloodstain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course? What's odd about this, scientifically? The amount of blood. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to have been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find a bloodstain, okay? Perfect. Where else can I look? See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah. And this stuff's pretty handy, too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Okay. A solution used for scientific investigation. Finds blood traces. Spray to use. Luminol testing fluid received from one very proud-looking Emma Skye. Can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah. Feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! Hello, Angel. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Ms. Starr. You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead doesn't really get my mouth watering. Kind of lead? Kind of lead? I'm not sure. Okay. If I examine the room, can I do more spraying? Look, a door. This means something. Okay. I'm gonna see if there's anything new to examine. Also, that door does matter because it was locked. She tried to come down through there. Oh, so this is the famous divider. Sure helped us knock a hole in that testimony today. Come to think of it, this divider helped our case more than the actual witness. The Great Divider, a chip off the old parking block. It's just a wall, scientifically speaking. So this is the famous oil drum. Well, no time like the present. I'll try to kick it over myself. Hiya! That's okay. Don't cry. That Lana Skye must be one strong woman. Oh, so Miss Starr climbed over this fence? It seems so, yeah. That fence is 9 feet high at least. Well, no time like the present. I think I'll give it a little try. Eek! It's okay, don't cry. Maybe there's a Lunchland Olympics team? I think it goes to show, though, how difficult some of this actually would be. It's about as red as a sports car can get. Yep, it's pretty red, all right. The body was found in Edgeworth's car trunk. The lock on the trunk was broken, too. So the question is, why did Miss Sky choose his car? So what model car is it? I think it was called a sedan or a coupe, something like that. Oh my god, Phoenix. No, that's a style of... Oh my god. Those are car types, Mr. Wright, not models. You're a guy, aren't you, Mr. Wright? You're supposed to know these things. It is about time I got my driver's license. That's where we found that note. 221 SL9, the SL9 incident. A case that was due for transferal the day of the murder. And the detective in charge of the case was the victim. I wonder what kind of case this SL9 incident thing was. Yeah, that's what I've been wondering too. It's kind of hard to guess just knowing the case number. Yeah, but it's got to be, I mean, obviously it's a homicide. Okay, I think that makes me good to talk to... Wait. Slide back over here so we can see her. Today's trial. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but... No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. Chief Prosecutor Sky stabbed a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Ah. I swear it on my honor as a detective, she stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph is something important to tell us, but what? Which photograph? The one she took, I assume. Detective Starr. So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel, too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long, they called me the cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. If these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. See, I knew it. I knew she was connected to it. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... Can I... Wait, I can, present things to her. Can I present this? What do you think about this? The SL9 incident? It's written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence for that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. I know that. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Yeah, that's what I want. Tell me more. Can I, if I talk to her again, will that... Oh, shit. Present... Anything else I can present? Goodman's ID? I had one of those up until 2 years ago. Back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But... it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. wish I could be so sure. Let's talk to her. Let's present her the picture here. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime? Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Ms. Starr. You lying was the problem. I mean, I also think the 5 minutes is a problem. Listen, little girl, I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time in the SL9 incident? What about this? Take a look at it. You, yes? You said you wanted some hot tea, right? No, but thanks. Can't even look at it. Okay. You must have to brew the leaves a long time to get a rich flavor like this. We pre-infuse the leaves with steam before brewing. I knew it. So that's the secret to their aroma. Exquisite. The only thing I'm smelling here is wasted time. Okay. I just feel like there's more she could tell me. But... oh, there we go. Finally, it popped up. Alright, the SL9 incident. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable to who? Prosecutors, Emma. Prosecutors. 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. Okay, so we've got Marshall, Goodman, Starr, and I'm not sure who the bottom left person is, but another cowboy hat, which is concerning. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. Doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? The criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after that trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Yeah, it's Marshall. Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. Okay, Detective Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then, it was over. He was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to the case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell... There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Starr's old boyfriends. How many does she have, anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, rookie. What? Seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. Is that steak? A Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Steak lunch received from Miss Starr. Excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood. Miss Starr, Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his? Are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too, back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Okay, well, I will have to find him somewhere. But for now, I am out of time, so I will have to continue this the next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.